Okay guys, this is video 2 of module 1, which is continue of the basics of modeling and draw different elements. One thing I would like to talk about the quick frame is if you want to draw an element here, and this is a straight frame by the way, it doesn't have to be just clicking on one element. You can select an area like this, and when you leave it, whatever is in the selection area, all the elements can be drawn at the same time. And just bear in mind which level you are. Currently I am in Z0, which is generally the base of the building, so we don't have frame at the base. So I will select all of them by just clicking the mouse. I'll talk about selecting menu, by just clicking the mouse, selecting all of them, and press the delete. You can delete them or right click and delete by cursor. So I will go to the next level. I will do the same. So I will create quick draw from here, say all the way up for one level, and then say we have locally here. I'll tell you why. And I just put some braces here. Currently these braces are coming because of this left and right that you can use to draw the line, so it gives you the same feature. If you put them 0 here and then click here, it draws like that. So when you are in the quick mode, these features are exactly the same. You can choose them and you can see which one is best for you. If I come here for X, then I don't have that eccentricity option, so I can just select and press and put some of the elements here. So when you are in eccentric option, you have this actually facility to be able to see, okay, what is your right eccentric. So if I come here and put right eccentric 0.05 and then press here, it shows me this one. If I come here and put eccentric forward, I have again the same, so I say even 1 meter. If I stay here and put, it gives me 1 meter distance from here. So this is mainly for braces and quick frame that I wanted to show you how to draw an element here. And now we showing you how to draw area element. Again, when you use area element, you can choose the section. As I told you, we will go through it later, how to define the sections of area element. So you have few options. Those are again, I'm repeating, those are exactly the same as this menu, so it doesn't matter if you choose them from the left side toolbar or coming to the menu directly. So this poly area is here. So when you choose poly area, it's up to you how many zones you want to have. So you can come from here to here, here, and then here, and say here and here, and close it. And when you double click at the end, it gives you this. But you need to know where is your last joint. If you come from here, here, and here, and double click, it gives you like rectangular. So wherever you finish, you can see the shape partially when you draw, but just you need to ensure which direction you are turning and where you want to put. You can edit it later. I will go through the edit later, so it's not something that if you make any mistake you can't change anything. No, you can for sure, but just is a matter of knowing what we do. So you can do the same in element. If it's a polygon, you can come here and do the same. Sorry, didn't draw, so yeah. So you can draw it, but it's not very easy to figure out what's happening in 3D model. Sometimes you need to because some joints are somewhere that you cannot see, or you want to draw something between two levels that you need to do it in 3D. But the easier way is coming simply to one of the views that I explained last time. So this is XZ elevation, which is this elevation, and this is ZY elevation, which is this elevation. So those are part of a view option that we will discuss, but as I said, I need to explain some of them a little bit earlier for you. So if I come to YZ option, so I'm coming to one of them. So when I'm here, you can see this line is, if I go to the area that we don't have any, okay, here is easier to see. So if I'm here, you can see the line here is blue. That means I am standing on grid A, and you can see grid A here, by the way. So grid show you grid A. If you move by this, you can actually, if I'm here in this and then start moving, you can see in the left plan that that blue line is moving. And when you reach to the end, if you can back like this, or if you keep going up, the next one would be the first one. So it's back to the first grid, and then you can do the same. So I'm here, I want to draw a shell. It's up to me. So I'm choosing this one, for example. I'm drawing one from here to here to here to here, and it draws a shell element like this for me. I'm just showing the flexibility. It doesn't have to be such a shape, but it's just the features we have. If you use this item rectangular area, it just gives you the option of drawing rectangularly. So it doesn't have to be right connected to the joint. You can draw it wherever you want, but you just must be mindful that where you are selecting. So if you want to be at the grid, but you don't mind where you are between these two grids, you need to come here. I'm coming to this area. There is an element like the name is the nearest line and edge. So when I select this one, line and edge, and I come and wants to draw again, you can see that it gives me this option that I'm exactly on this grid line. I can move along this grid line or any of them. So this is a good, or could be grid line, could be elements. So you can move along the edge of the shell or any frame element you may have. You can play with this, and then you can click it, and it gives you just in one go. It gives you this. Likewise, when you are in elevation, you have the same feature. You can come and, for example, draw it like that. And when you're using quick shell, it's just by a click. That means you can stay here and just click, done. You can stay here, click. Or in elevation, you can click the same. Or you can select a group of them again, like a quick line, and it gives you shell, but gives you between grids. So that's automatically done by SAP. So if you draw a shell from here to here, like what I've done before, if you use quick shell in this option, it doesn't give you the flexibility that you draw just one shell element but crossing different grids. So here what I have is just one shell element, but here I have different shell elements. So that's the difference between these two features. So this is basically the draw menu as much as we want to discuss at this stage. We talk about joints, we talk about lines or frames, also curved frame and a straight frame. We talk about areas. So the rest would be for more advanced sessions that we will discuss about them later. I'll talk about snap tools for you because we need to have some element to be able to do that. So we talk about points and grids, we talk about midline and endpoints, we talk about intersection and perpendicular and nearest, and the last one is fine grid. So fine grids is when you are here, You will set it up in the tools that I show you later, but this fine grid is coming, and if you have a look at this area that shows you the coordination of the joint, when I move, for example, currently is set based on 250 millimeter or 0.25 meter. So if I move very slow, you can see it just going the steps of 0.25. And Y doesn't show you any X because I'm in YZ plan, YZ elevation. If I come here, you can see X 21.5, and then if I go very slow, you can see the incremental selection of the grids are here. So that sometimes is okay for you if you need to draw something out of the grid line or out of element, but easier way is simply put a joint with the offset you need and just draw a line between joint. That would be more accurate. And I will continue just some information about element. When you want to measure it, is not a measurement tool, but for example, if I right click on any element, it gives you here in the location, it gives me the length of the element, so you can see what's the length and what's the orientation of the element. We will go through the rest about element property later, but I will show you if you want to check the length of any element, you can check it here. Or if you want to check the area of any shell, again, when you come to the location, it gives you here the area. Why is 35? Because it's 5 by 7 meter span, so it's 35 square meter, and give you how many number of points you have and what's the orientation of the the location of the point. And then we will go through the list later. As I told you, you can change your unit wherever you want, and so for example, if I change kilonewton meter by kilonewton millimeter, all of them change to millimeter, the units. Or if there is any load, again, if you change it. But always the main, you can locally, when you want to check anything, you can locally change it, but actually the main one is always the same as what you define at the beginning of the job. There is a way that you can change these units. As I told you, I will explain later, but not sure it can be done by evaluation license or not. So the next part, we want to talk about select menu tools. We talk about measure, and I'll talk about view menu. That view menu is mainly how you can see the elements. So if I click on any window, you can see this is blue. So when this is blue, if I click here, this one can be blue. So if I come here and I have these options for view, that this is for 3D, this is for XY, which is the plan. Can you see if I'm here, you can see one of these lines should be blue. So currently I'm in Z9, but because there are elements here, probably is not very easy to see. If I come here and move it to another level, okay, so here would be clear, more clear. So if I'm staying here in Z9, not sure why it doesn't show. It should generally show the plan. So when we're moving up, yes, it's here. So you can see the blue line at the right window that currently is in Z9, which is the third level, and if I move down, you can see it's moving down. Likewise, if I come to, for example, here and click on this, again, when I'm moving, you can see the blue line at the left window is on grid C, and if I keep moving, again, this is moving. So you can change this view from, currently we are showing YZ, you can go to XZ, and you can do the same. So those are the elevations you have. So the grid lines are good to see. For example, currently you are on grid 6. Whatever is uniform on top, it doesn't show the secondary as I told you, but this shows you which grid line you are. So currently you are in this grid line in the plan. So that's how you can track where you are, and if you want to do any modification, you can easily do that. So this is mainly the view menu, and about 3D and 2D we discuss. And then sometimes you can set the limits. For example, you said, I want to set the limit here for X and Y axis. So I want to see just elements between X0 and X7. It doesn't have to be a grid line, could be anywhere as far as you know roughly which area you want to actually see. And then say Y-axis between grid 0 and grid 12. And when it roughly show you here what's happening. So you can say between Z0 and Z6, and then this is what you see. I don't know what happened, so minimum should be 0 and 6, then Y0 and 12, and apply. Yep, coming. As I told you guys, this is a live workshop, so don't expect everything would be perfect. I'm an engineer, but I'm not a perfectionist. I'm always looking for progression. So you see this area is limited now. You can see the grids, but you can't see the elements. So it gives you that limited area that you wanted to choose. And this is very useful, especially when you have a complicated structure. But be mindful that which window is active. That view limit will work for that. So it's not for all windows you have. It's just for that specific window. If you don't want to see the grid line, simply you can come here on top and you can click on this and grid lines can go. Or likewise for the grid, the main axis, if you don't want to see it, you can come here and remove axis. So those are a part of view. If you want to show the frame, you can see here. If you don't want to show it, you can simply click on here and all frame elements go. Likewise for the joints, if you don't want to see the joint, if you click here and it's not active anymore, you don't see any joints. Or you can put them back if you want. And so mainly those are the view features here. So there are some areas that this partial is here, partially of view is here that I'm explaining now. So this is set limit, and then I will talk about display option later, but leave it by now. So here is the rubber. If you want to change the set limit back to the main one, you can say reset from default values, or you can press show all. So when you do this, then all elements again back, and you can see all of them. So we can back the grid line here. So if I'm here and I want to use other features of the view, again, I'm happy to, I like to have them in my top menu, which is currently here. I'll show you how to do. So here, this is if you want to zoom in a specific local area, you can zoom like this, and you can see that. If you want to back to the full view, these are exactly the same we have here. If you want to back to zoom previews, you can press this one, which is zoom previews, which is if you come to here, you can see zoom previews. If you want to just zoom out without any specific area, you can press this, and you can just you need to back. But if you are here, it's simply just by clicking you can see this one. And when it's like AutoCAD, some features of SAP is like AutoCAD. So if you click and hold your middle mouse button, you can pan the element. The other option is selecting this by your left click and again pan, but this is just for one time. And also you can zoom out, and if you want to back to the standard view you had, you can just put zoom full view and it's coming like this. And you can do the same here. Doesn't matter if it's 3D or in the plan or elevation, you have exactly the same features. You can come here and just select this portion, and you can again back to the original. Perfect, guys. So this is our video 2 of module 1. We have one more video for this module that I'm talking about select menu and also set display option.